Picture this. You know the moment just before the alarm goes off? Not when it's ringing, before that. You're still tucked into the bed, your body is warm, your eyes are technically closed, but your mind is already awake. You're not sleeping properly anymore, but also you're not ready to wake up either. And in that split second, before the day officially begins, there's a quiet resistance to wake up. Have you ever felt like that? Most of us don't say it out loud. We still show up, we still do what needs to be done, but the question sits there quietly. Does my work matter? Hello everyone, my name's Ashford and welcome back to the channel. See, somewhere along the way, we've learned to divide life into neat little boxes. There's faith and there's work. So, God on Sunday, emails on Monday. And we live as if God is deeply interested in one and probably indifferent to the other. But you know what? That split, it didn't come from God. Work wasn't born out of modern hustle culture. It didn't start with KPIs, performance reviews, or burnout. Work existed long before the fall. I mean, before Adam ate the apple, before sin entered the picture, before toil and frustration and exhaustion became normal. In the garden, God gave man work not as punishment, but as participation. At its core, work was meant to be creative, life giving, a way of cooperating with God in the world. But somewhere along the line, things shifted. And yes, bad leadership plays a part. There's unfair systems, there's office politics, there are a lot of things. But I think there's something deeper that crept in. And we go back to the temptations. If you look closely, one of the earliest distortion wasn't about work, it was about reward. You see, when Jesus was tempted in the desert, the offer is simple: power, control, riches, status, everything now. And I think that same temptation has quietly rewired how we approach work today. Work has stopped being about contribution and slowly it's become about consumption. More money, more power, more position. And don't get me wrong, money itself isn't evil. We all need money because we live in the real world. However, when money becomes the primary lens, work loses its soul. Because suddenly the question isn't how can I serve, but what do I get out of this? Now, when work is reduced to income alone, it will never fully satisfy you. That's why you can earn and still feel empty. That's why you can level up and still dread Monday morning. Because deep down, you were never created to just earn or just make money. Now, the internet is full of these videos: make more money, earn billions, earn millions. But here's the quiet truth I had to learn the long, hard way: God doesn't just care about where you worship, He cares about how you work. Now, scripture says, whatever you do it as unto the Lord. Not just the meaningful projects, not only the work you enjoy, but whatever you do. That means it's everything you do. Be it sitting at your desk, your commute, your clients, your classroom, your shop floor, your laptop at 11 p.m. when everyone else is asleep. All of it. Not because the task is holy, but because you are present in it. You who are God's creation. And here's the shift that changed things for me: you're not working for God, you're working with Him. Now, God doesn't clock out when you clock in. There's often this thing that, oh, I'm supposed to be doing work on my own. I'm bringing my talent, my skill. Yes, it is your talent, your skill, but it is God given. Even when the jobs feel ordinary, even when no one notices your effort, even when this season doesn't look like anything what you've imagined for yourself. Because the Bible is honest about this. Calling is rarely revealed in one clean moment. It's not that you're going to get a light bulb and it's going to happen. It's shaped in seasons. I mean, look at the story of Joseph. He didn't go from dream to destiny overnight, nor was David crowned straight from the field. And Moses spent years tending sheep before leading people. None of them wasted their in between seasons, even when they didn't understand them. So, if you're sitting there thinking, I'm not where I am, or I'm not where I thought I'd be by now, that doesn't mean you've missed God or God has missed putting you where you need to be. It might mean He's forming something deeper than visibility, something sturdier than success. You see, your workplace is never random. nor the people you deal with on a daily basis are accidentally there. In fact, your presence is almost intentional. Sometimes the loudest witness isn't about what you say about your faith, but how you carry yourself when it costs you something, be it your integrity, your consistency, your patience, when it would be easier to cut corners. And that, my friends, becomes a prayer. And on the days you're exhausted, like truly exhausted, God doesn't shame you for feeling tired. In fact, He invites each and every one of us to rest. He asks us to take His yoke and not carry everything alone, through which He renews us, not just in prayer, but in the middle of responsibility, in the quiet faithfulness of showing up again. So today, I'm not here to tell you to quit your job or chase some dramatic calling overnight. I just want to remind you of this. Purpose isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just your faithful presence in ordinary places. Turn up, do the work well, rest when you need to, and trust that God is working, even when you can't see the fruit yet. Because your work matters, your faithfulness matters, and God hasn't missed a single unseen moment. So, tomorrow morning, when that alarm is about to go off, before you open your eyes, remember this: you don't walk into that day alone. You know why? Because God is already there. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, cheers and God bless.